All right, let's start by saying Barakatah Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Chafadash. Welcome to another live lesson. The name of this one is Where You True Defenders of the Gospel At. I'm joined with the Elder Pishai and Iwad. And pretty much, Elder Pastor is premiering right now. He's doing a live, not a live, a premiere lesson, which is like a live, on the two magpies, those two demons, those two, miscreants from the Genesis group, Hakai and Hassad. And pretty much they're saying that the seven back then, that at One West back then, they taught that the Gentiles could be saved, and that's total bullshit. First of all, as I was thinking the thought, Elder Pastor said it, that these two clowns wasn't even around back then. Elder Pastor said you weren't even born back when the school was set up back then. So how in the hell do you know what the hell was going on back then? You don't know shit. You're just hearing bullshit or you making shit up. Now, the name of this lesson is Where Are You True Defenders of the Gospel At? Where are you at, Bishop Nathaniel? Where are you at, Bishop Yawasap? I don't remember if Bishop Kanai was at One West. I don't remember him. I don't remember his face in particular. I do remember Bishop Nathaniel and Yawasap. Where you at, General Yohana? Yeah. Where you at, you guys that were back there at One West? Where you at defending the gospel? Where you at? Because the scriptures speak about, give me Jude 1 and 3. Scriptures speak about contending for the faith, fighting for this faith, defending this faith. Where you guys at? You know where to be found. But when it comes to making money, you there. When it comes to some goddamn debate, some bullshit, you there. But when it comes to defending the gospel, you guys are lacking. Where you at? Here it is. These guys are saying that at One West they taught that the Gentiles could be saved. That's total fucking bullshit. That was never taught at the main school, ever. The closest was Cornelius being an Edomite. But he wasn't going to be saved. He was just holding the book, which, like Elder Pastor said, didn't make sense back then. But it was part of the doctrine, and the doctrine was still growing. You got that?
Yep.
Okay, read it.
3. It's beloved, when I gave all diligence to write unto you of the common salvation, it was needful for me to write unto you and exhort you that you should earnestly contend for the faith.
Right, so you should earnestly contend for the faith. This is an exhortation. So where are you true defenders of the gospel at? Your General Yohanas, your Bishop Nathaniels, your Bishop Yawasap, you individuals that were back there actually at One West, that know the true doctrine that was taught at One West, that know that was total bullshit, that it was never taught that the Gentiles could be saved. Where you at defending the gospel, man? And get out Philippians 1 and 17. But yeah, matter of fact, before you do that, are you in the blue letter?
Yep.
Can you get the word contend?
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, bring it out.
Yep.
And if your brothers got any precepts or any thoughts, if you got a precept, just quote it in
It's all together. I was going to look up earnest, but it's earnest and contend is together.
Okay.
Going to the word contend, it means to fight. When you first come into the knowledge, you dedicate yourself to the Lord, that you're going to be dedicated to this word. No matter what obstacles or no matter what doctrines come around, you're going to be on the forefront to defend it. This is a spiritual fight, it's a spiritual war. And also, too, the apostles, actually, we've been hearing the same stories over and over, from the Apostle Tahar on down. And the stories and the history of what happened and with the doctrines and how everything into manifestation has always been the same. It's just everyone else has a different story,
That's it. Now, do me a favor. Go to 1 Corinthians 9, and I think it's around verse 24. You might have to read up a little bit above that.
1 Corinthians chapter 9?
Yeah, because we're reading about the word contend. It means to fight, to contend. And it's a battle,
So, 1 Corinthians 9, you said?
Yes, sir.
From the top?
No, around the 24th verse. Right, you might have to read a little bit above that.
Yep. Verse 23. 1 Corinthians 9:23. And this I do for the gospel's sake, that I might be partaker thereof with you.
Right, because what are we doing? Matter of fact, read 22. See what 22 says.
To the weak became I as weak, that I might gain the weak. I am made all things to all men, that I might by all means save some.
Go ahead.
And this I do for the gospel's sake, that I might be partaker thereof with you.
Right, because the goal of teaching the gospel is to what? To get to the finish line, which is what? Salvation, when Yahweh Shai comes back. So it's a fight. And the one that's going to get the crown is the one that crosses the finish line. So what are we doing? In the meantime, we're contending. We're fighting for the faith. You know, you have a lot of different doctrines, especially now in this high time of apostasy. You have a lot of the doctrines, even like the Apostle Paul said, even among yourselves shall teachers arise, speaking perverse things which they ought not for filthy lucre's sake. You know? You got it.
Yeah.
Yup. Okay.
No, because I was thinking, man, some men become servants of their own bellies instead of servants of Yahweh Shemel Shah.
That's it.
Now, you know, in order for you to remain in the same thing you've been taught from the beginning, you got to remember Yahweh Shah.
That's it. Yahweh Shai never changed. Go ahead.
Yup. It says, and this I do for the gospel's sake, that I might be partaker thereof with you.
Go ahead.
Know ye not that they which run in a race run all, but one receiveth the prize.
Right. They all that run in the race run all, that one receiveth the prize. And that's what we're doing. And this is why this truth, only one man can go or tread through this path at a time. Basically letting you know that it's, you know, you can't, it's not a buddy system. You ain't gonna have two brothers holding hand in hand, you know, to make it off each other's merits. No, you're gonna make it off of your merits if you are part of the elect. Go ahead.
Yup. It says, know ye not.
You had want to say something?
No, because they running in a race in another league, and this is the league of the truth, man.
Yeah.
That's it. Go ahead.
It says, so run that ye may obtain, and every man that striveth for the mastery.
Right, it says, run that you may obtain.
Right.
And every man that striveth for the mastery. What's the mastery? To get to the finish line. You know, because everyone is contending, but nobody wants to be second fiddle or third fiddle. Everybody wants the top prize. You know? So that's why we all fight to get the top prize, which is what? Salvation. The ultimate prize. Go ahead.
And every man, I'm sorry. It says, and every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things.
Right. Temperate means disciplined. You know, like just like when you have these athletes, you know, these elite athletes, they're not elite athletes because they just have the skill to do it and the talent. That's a part of it. But they actually, you know, train and build their craft.
Yeah.
And they and the more, you know, the more temperate or the more disciplined they are, the greater they get.
That's a fact.
You know?
That's a fact.
This is why you got your Michael Jordans and your Kobe Bryants and individuals like that. Because they actually train and they actually, you know, are moving when others are laying down, sleeping, drinking, talking shit, having sex. You know? Yeah,
like you said, Apostle, they exercise, and that's what it's commanded of us to do in this thing, is to exercise.
Yep.
To talk about exercising your senses, you know, being involved, and that's what this whole video is about. It's about what? Being involved in what? The heresies that are taking place, all right, to be combated, so that men and, you know, the elect will know what the truth is. So if you're about truth, you're going to stand for truth.
That's
you
it.
know, if the truth resonates with you, you're going to be moved in the spirit to speak on truth.
That's
you
it.
know?
Want to say something?
No, because like when you go into the history, I'm thinking Phineas come to mind.
Yep.
Phineas had to stave the plague away from Israel
That's
because
it.
he was so zealous for the Lord, and that got him an everlasting name.
Beautiful.
So you're going to have the men of the Lord defending the gospel, you know, and it's going to be a reward unto them at the finish line.
Yeah. Hey, you know, it's funny. I was just reading that story earlier, you know, to show you how the spirit works. You know, so yeah, so the bottom line is, where are you guys at that were actually at One West? Not these flunkies that are Johnny-come-latelys that are talking about shit they don't have no fucking clue about.
Right.
You opening your mouth about One West, you weren't there. You don't know what went down there. All you heard is what you've been told. Some of it is true and some of it is bullshit. But you taking that rumor and running with it. So you pretty much giving heed to false witnesses. I don't know where the fuck you got that from. There ain't no book out there that taught that the seven back then taught that all heathens could be saved. That's total bullshit. That was never taught. I was there. I know because I was there. You know? I was there probably before either one of you were born either. I'm not sure when y'all were born or y'all were babies when the Lord had me there. When the elder Pastor was there, y'all was in the spirit world. Dig it. Go ahead.
Yep. It says, "And every man." Okay, we read that. Yeah.
So where are you guys at that were actually there? Where are you at, Commanding General Yohana? Where are you at, Bishop General King Bishop Nathaniel? Where are you at, Bishop Yawasab? And the rest of you guys that were back there, where are you at defending the gospel? There should be videos going up round the clock against this bullshit. You know? Take a goddamn stance. You know, stop being so goddamn fucking PC. Like you, Priest Zabak, Elder Priest Zabak, and Elder Priest Daniela. You guys are too fucking PC, man. Trying to explain away. These dudes are demons, man.
Yeah.
They don't need no explanation. By you doing that, you're pretty much, you know, giving them the right hand of fellowship. You know? Justifying their wickedness. Take a goddamn stance, man. Stop being so fucking weak. So goddamn PC. That politically correct spirit ain't gonna get you to the kingdom. Because pretty much you're allowing them to just keep on with the bullshit. You got it, bro.
Yeah, that's why in the law, when someone committed a sin unto death, one where it was the witness will cast the stone, the first stone, and then everyone else will have the stone to show forth that they're not a part of it.
Right, and then you had to have 2 to 3 witnesses before someone could be put to death. You know, with this, you know, these guys are saying that the Gentiles could be saved was taught at One West. Bullshit. Bullshit. How do I know? I was there. You weren't. The apostles were there. The bishops were there. You weren't. So all your bullshit that you talk about is nothing but rumors. You got it, bro.
Yep. It says, now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we are incorruptible.
Right. So the people of the world, when they're contending for their craft, they're doing it to obtain a corruptible crown. And they fight for that, to get to that top position. So this is what we're supposed to be doing. And a part of the fight is what? Reproving, rebuking, so that others may be sound in the faith. That's what it's about. I ain't gonna ruffle no feathers. Fuck that. Ruffle goddamn feathers. You know? And that's the fucking problem today. This is the reason why you have all this madness going on today. Because nobody wants to ruffle no fucking feathers except for Great Millstone. We gotta be the fucking bad guys. But that's alright. We'll be the bad guys. You ain't seen bad guys like us before. Inside joke, you got it.
Yeah, yep. And then it says, I therefore so run not as uncertainly, so fight I, not as one that beateth the air. Right. So we know what we're doing. We're not shadow boxing. We're not just beating at the air. We know what the fuck we're doing through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, which has given us this gift and has given us the spirit to defend it. I'll go to Philippians 1:17. You know? And that's the thing. You guys should have been outraged by this statement that these 2 clowns brought out. You should be fucking outraged.
Yeah, General Yohana and them, they're not thinking about the babies.
Exactly.
You know?
No, they're just thinking about themselves.
What you can make off of.
Yeah. Because a lot of them leaders out there pretty much are just teaching for filthy lucre's sake. It's just what can they benefit? They don't give a fuck about the flock. Because if you did, you would be building up the hedge for the house of Israel to stand in the day of the Lord's wrath. And you ain't doing that. You're nothing but hirelings. Unless you prove otherwise. Go ahead.
Yep. Philippians 1:17. But the other of love, knowing that I am set for the defense of the gospel.
So we're set for the defense of the gospel. And you individuals out there that call yourselves teachers, especially you that go back to One West, you're supposed to be set up as being defenders of the gospel. So where the fuck are you at? Where you at? There should be an outrage at the wicked bullshit that's going on right now. The blatant lies. And these 2 little demons are going about it without any fear. Just fucking running their fucking mouth until the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai puts his foot right up your ass. Or you gonna see it. You keep fucking around with your how about Shem Yahushua. You gonna see what the Lord gonna do to your monkey ass. Go ahead, bro.
This one.
No, you were getting some?
No, you gotta make this right here.
Go ahead.
Yeah. All right, so it's okay. Salaki.
We almost at our destination, so we gonna end it when we.
I got one. This is.
Oh no, I wanted. Did you finish that? Earnestly
go back.
contend for the faith. Read that again.
Okay.
And then we'll go to the other precept you got. I want to just look up.
Worries.
I just want to look up the word defenders, and then you could get that precept, and we could close it there.
That was Philippians 1:17.
Yes, sir.
You want that word defense?
Yes. Because we're set up for the defense of the gospel. The true defenders.
Yeah.
So where are you true defenders of the gospel at?
627, apologia.
Right, and this is where vocab and them other devils get their word apologist, 555. You know, apologist from the head.
Yep, it says verbal defense, speech defense.
144. Go ahead.
A reason, statement, or argument. You know, the scriptures tell you, basically, with thy word thou shalt be justified.
Yep.
You know,
that word thou shalt be condemned.
Yeah. So if you don't speak on something, the scripture tell you that rest not upon many in judgment. In Exodus the 23rd chapter. Now you got Salaki. You got to go all the way to the top. Okay. Yeah, you got to go all the way to the top.
Go ahead.
Yep. Well, what I was quoting in the book of Exodus.
For this guy coming around the corner, not even. Yeah, you got it, bro.
Yep. What I was quoting in the book of Exodus, chapter 23. You know, these dudes, they all about the law, right? It says, Exodus 23:2, thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil, neither shalt thou speak in a cause to decline after many to wrest judgment.
Yeah, wrestle judgment. So it don't matter if the crowd is going, in one favor. If the direction the crowd is going in is off, you don't go that route.
Right.
And for the most part, whenever you see the majority of people going in one direction, that means that that's the wrong direction. Yahushua said that straight is a gate and narrow is a way that leadeth to life. But wide is a gate and broad is a way that leadeth to destruction. And many there be that go thereat. You got it, bro.
I got one more. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 11, and I think it is.
This is fucking ridiculous, man. You guys out there should be fucking outraged. But you're just going about, we're going to get this debate and we're going to do that,
Yeah.
Fraternizing with these dudes like them dudes was brothers. Them dudes are demons.
Yeah.
Two devils. They're the enemies of the cross of Yahushua.
This is 1 Corinthians 11:18. First of all, when ye come together in the church, I hear that there be divisions among you,
Yep.
and I partly believe it. For there must be also heresies among you.
And Yahushua said it best. That it is impossible, but that offenses must come. Read that part again.
Yup. It says, for there must be also heresies among you, that they which are approved may be manifest among you.
Right, and that's what it happened. Because, it starts privately. It starts with a thought. It starts with, I don't really believe that, but I'm going to teach anyway. And then eventually it manifests, and it's going to manifest in their talk. Because them demons are going to make them come out. Because the Spirit is compelling them to come out. Just like what happened with Judas at the end, right? It said Satan entered into him. And what did Yahushua say? That which thou doest, do quickly. And that's when Satan entered into him and he went to betray the Lord. Go ahead.
Yep. It says, when ye come together, therefore, into one place, this is not, that was the point. But like you said, Apostle, like when these doctrines come out, it's to show forth who stands on what.
Right. That's it.
Yeah.
So was that it?
Yep, that's it.
All right, so with that, we pray that you brothers and few sisters have been edified. And once again, where are you, defenders of the gospel at? Where are you true defenders of the gospel at? 444. Where you at? You former One Westers. Where you at? You should be outraged. There should be thousands of videos going up rebuking this nonsense. Because it's not true. It's a heresy. But you ain't going to say none. And if you do say something, kudos to you. But you ain't going to say none, especially you PC individuals. Okay. Stop being so fucking goddamn PC, man. It's fucking sick. Shalom.
Shalom. All right, damn.